It's a shock. We all knew Brian Crowley had his health battles, but to hear that he'd passed away at a young age, I think he was only 61. It's awful for his family, his mother, his siblings, and he's a very much loved character. I had the great pleasure in 2002 of working for him. I was one of his political staff. I worked in Brussels. I was only 19 years old, so he really gave me that first door opening into politics when I was 19, and he was just fantastic to work for. He was charismatic. He was so capable. He had time for everyone. He was taking on huge amounts of work in Brussels and back home in the Munster constituency, but he always made time for everyone. And even since he left political life, I know people right through Clare have been getting texts from friends of and people I would know in Fianna Fail. He kept in contact with so many people, and that's not an easy thing to take on and to maintain, but he did that. So it's a sad day for his family. His many cousins, some of them living not so far from us here in Clare, but the people who really walked those roads across the county here for him in many elections will miss him also. So my deepest sympathies to his mother, his siblings, and his wide circle of friends. There won't be the likes of him again.
Widely respected, as you say, and that would have been reflected in the votes that he got. He would have been one of the highest vote earners, I suppose, in the country, and with that would have done a lot of work that would have benefited us here in Clare.
Yeah, it's often said in American politics that Bobby Kennedy was the greatest person never to become president of America. But I could say that you could say the same for Brian Crowley in terms of the Irish presidency. He twice showed interest in going and just didn't happen. And we've seen recently how, these campaigns can be arduous, but he was a fantastic representative. Firstly, in the Shannon, he went in very young to that. He was appointed by the Taoiseach, then went on. I think it was 1994. I think it might have been. He went into the European Parliament, and he held his seat there as a poll topper for many years. Brian was one of the first people to break the mould for disabilities in politics. Now we have many fine politicians who have disabilities and who understand what it is to live with a disability so well. But Brian very much broke the mould with that, and he gave a voice to people. I think he brought the focus to one's ability as opposed to disability. It didn't really define him, but he was able to show people that whilst he was in a wheelchair since the age of 12 following a tragic accident in his hometown of Bandon, that never really defined him totally. He was well able to get around the constituency, speak up, and he was able to deal with so many issues. So I'm sure if we look back in his career another day, he's probably someone who should have and would have, I think, made it to the Arsenal Oak Trial. He didn't, but he had a fine career in the Shannon and in the European Parliament. But I think many more of us in the county would know him as a friend, and there'll be a lot of people mourning his loss.